welcome to the maiden edition of the Late Morning Show, where we talk about politics, entertainment, sports, and more.
My name is Victor Matthias.
And I am Effiong Patience Imar.
All right, sit back and relax and have a great time on the program. Up next is the Vox Pop segment of the program.
When we talk of religion, we're speaking of different groups, different people coming from different backgrounds, having a different ideology, having a different perspective, having a different mindset of what religion is all about. So I can meet a Muslim person and ask the person what's about religion, and the person tells me what is religion. He's going from his own perspective. I can meet a Christian and ask the same question. He tells me his own perspective about religion. So I feel when it comes to politics and dealing with people from different religion, I don't think you have to include religion in it, because it will cause conflict.
It was not so in the beginning, and it's supposed not to be, but it has been now, because the present administration brought it into light that religion should have a role. It was not so before, because I would want to remember the election that supposed to bring in Abiola and Tofa. Abiola was a Muslim, and the supposed to be vice, was a Muslim. And Nigerians came out en masse to vote 42. This present president and Idiagbon ruled this country. Idiagbon was a Muslim, Buhari a Muslim. Nigeria welcomed them and teamed up with them until later things fell apart. We enjoyed the other governments in the past, but now the problem Nigerians witnessed in the past few years made us to know that religion has a role to play. Religion is supposed to be separated from politics. They are not of the same thing. They are not related. They should be far away. Nigerians, you will see that Nigerians are people that if they are being ruled very well, they are not bothered about who rules them. We are less bothered whether it's an Hausa, but now that all these things have created barriers in between, Nigerians must be very conscious these days.
Some persons will feel like, okay, because it's a Christian that is actually running the election, because I'm a Christian, I should go and vote for the Christian. Meanwhile, the man don't actually have the criteria that is qualified for him to be the president or whatsoever. So, and I will equally say no. Because the thing is, my Bible said, when the good person rule, the people rejoices, right? Yes. So the thing is, we should go out there and vote rightly, irrespective of the religion. Yes, we should go out there, vote for the right person, the person that is actually suitable to be our next president. So we shouldn't be, maybe because he's a Christian or he's a Muslim and the rest of it. Shouldn't be biased and the rest of it.
Naturally, religion is supposed to be separated from politics, naturally. But with the trend, religion has a role to play. Though it depends on the way the religion aspect wants to look at politics. For instance, we expect that people should not be influenced based on who they vote for, based on their religion. But they should vote based on competence, not on religion. But the role religion plays now is letting you know that you're right. Also, because some people don't even know they are right. Some people just believe if I'm a Christian, I should not even involve myself in voting. Or if I'm a Muslim, I should not involve myself in voting. You are supposed to vote and be voted for. You have a role to play as an individual. Whether you practice or whatever religion you practice does not matter at this point. But vote based on competence, not based on religion.
Honestly, I do not really see a Christian trying to play in a politics. Honestly, it doesn't really speak well. Being a Christian or a Muslim, then practicing a politics, it is very, very wrong. It is very, very, to me, no, and to my own point of view, I don't really see it as something really nice. It is wrong. Being a Christian or a Muslim, then practicing politics, then it is quite, how can I just put it? maybe there's no how you are involving in politics and you are a Christian or a Muslim, that you will not be bribed, that you will not collect money from those parties. Maybe I don't want to make mention of the parties. You are going to they will also bribe you. They will come to your church and give you money in order for you to pray for them, or so that they can win the election. And it is wrong. It is not done. It's not good. Me as a person, I'm a Muslim, so I see it as a wrong thing for a Christian and a Muslim to be involved themselves in a politics.
People try to tell religious people that they don't encourage them to involve themselves in politics. Like, I remember one time when Father MBAHAR was talking about things of the country, like people are like, stick to your pulpit, stick to your this, stick to your that. So I don't think we welcome into Nigeria here. Okay, or recently when Adeboye went live and condemned what was going on, people basically backlashed him like, why, what's your business in? Leave politics to politics, leave religion to religion. So I don't think we encourage it here. But if we, I think if we follow the doctrines of like any religious tribe, any religious following you follow, be it Islam, be it Christianity, I think they all preach progress, they all preach good things. So I think if we imbibe by those things, I think we should have progress as a nation. But we don't welcome it in Nigeria here, if you ask me. We try to ostracize the religious leaders from politics. So I don't know, it's rare, and as I said, thankfully we have Oshibanjo, who's a devout Christian and a redeemed person as the vice president. So I think that might be something that might break the ice, if you ask me, like for time to come. So that's why I see things. It's not something that I think is welcome in Nigeria here enough. Maybe it's welcome. Maybe the tide is turning slowly, but I don't think it's welcome enough.
Religion does not determine who is going to rule the country. A Muslim man can come up and rule, and then a Christian person can come up, or anybody can come up and rule. Or just irrespective of religion, let us look at what the person, they come out with manifestos, they come out with what they feel that they can do for the country. Although many people don't feel like, any change can come to Nigeria again, but irrespective of religion, you should come out and vote. Based on your own mind, you should come out and vote for who you feel is meant to be the president.
Religion has a role to play in politics, because if we sit down and say, let us leave it for them, they will go into the parliament and make laws that are inimical to our belief. Like you see in Europe and some advanced democracies now globally, they are making laws about same-sex marriage, which is not good. That is why, whether you're a Christian or Muslim, the fundamental tenets of this belief is preserving the law of God, and also the tenets also preserves the principles of creation, what I call the principles of creation, law of male and female. So it is God made male and female in that order. So when we see parliaments pass laws that make male and male to marry and female to marry, it also negates the principles of the natural law. So this is why religion is important, so that from there Christ came to the world to establish his kingdom. And book of Prophet Isaiah says his government is upon his shoulder. The government is upon his shoulder. Unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government is upon his shoulder. So that government, which we pray in our Father, let your kingdom come, is in such a way that God's kingdom will be established here through the laws that we make in the parliaments, so that the laws that we make in the parliaments would also promote God's kingdom here on earth. That is why religion and politics are inseparable. And I also call on everybody, the Christians, Muslims, get your PVC, come out. Because the people that represent you in the parliament or in different constituencies or in different executive positions also represents your interest and interest of your belief system. So if you allow anyhow people to get there, they will make laws that are inimical, that may even make you not to clap in the church and express your freedom of belief and worship. So it's very important that Christians and Muslims alike gear up and prepare themselves, so that you also protect your dignity as a man, dignity of your belief, dignity of labor, anything that you want to, the laws that are made to preserve the principles of life will be there, so that the ones that are inimical to your belief, and also the ones that are against nature and natural principles, you have someone in the parliament who is also sharing the belief of a Christian that raises his hand and says no. As in those against say nay, say nay. Then he said nay. He can't support every kind of law that comes. So that is why religion and politics are interwoven together. So Christians, Muslims alike, everybody should participate in politics so that you get leaders that represent and establish God's kingdom here on earth.
Welcome to the headline segment of the program, The Late Morning Show. We have a lot of interesting headlines for you. The first is 16-year-old daughter of police inspector goes missing inside barracks.
Father cries out over alleged detention of daughter by DSS since 2021.
One person shot dead in suspected cold fight in Ilorin, Kwara State, according to the Commissioner of Police.
Strike. FG AS will return to negotiation. Meets Tuesday.
Osinachi, Pastor Enenche's daughter reacts, states father's position.
Funke Akindele's marriage to singer JJC Skills allegedly in crisis.
Femi Otedola reacts to daughter's engagement to Mr. Easy.
Hours after detention, hoodlums attack home of PDP chieftain.
Oshibanjo's declaration, RCCGization of the politics, according to Murik.
2023 jubilation in Akure as Osibanjo joins presidential race.
Ashiwaju Bola Tinubu's meeting with APC governors in pictures.
2023, I have no son grown enough to challenge me, says Tinubu.
CSOs meet in Kaduna, mobilize support for local government autonomy.
Gunmen kill APC chairman in Osun.
Pastor caught with charms, female underwear buried inside church.
Woman 25 in court over alleged threat to pastor family.
Court sentences convict to life imprisonment for raping underage girls in Ekiti.
Court remands trader over alleged kidnaps of neighbor's son.
3 men docked for allegedly stealing plastic materials worth 55,000.
Illicit drugs perseverance and the LEA blames court as Ebonyi CSO consults stakeholders for drug-free actions.
Osun NCDC receives operational vehicles.
New Edo CP Abutu Yaro resumes duty.
Governor Yahaya Bello mourns ex-Dangote Cement Company's MD, Joseph Makoju.
Strike. Ngige faults Ministry of Education. ASU seeks way forward.
Extrajudicial killing. Group demands removal of Osun Commissioner of Police.
Police begin manhunt for gunmen who attacked, killed many in Ebonyi community.
Scores perish in Boni Bile Nembe Jetty, Port Harcourt fire outbreak.
Nigerian-South African renew partnership on drug war.
Between Okowa and Ibori, fallacies and fiction by Onome Umokoro.
University of Ibadan lecturer files contempt application against husband.
Some church doctrines are local cultures brought in by pastors and members, according to Daystar Church pastor.
Olori Naomi reacts to killing of Osinachi Nwachukwu.
Mo Abudu, Joke Silva, orders at actress Rita Domini's bridal shower.
Tinubu orders to attend last month's standing premiere.
All right, our viewers, these are the headlines for today on the program. You'll agree with me that there are quite a lot and also very trending issues to talk about. Starting with the 16-year-old girl missing in the barracks. Is that even possible?
Well, it's surprising to think that in a country like this where we have security, especially in a barrack, one would believe that the environment is very secured and nothing of that sort is capable of happening.
And the daughter of a police inspector, so you can actually imagine getting missing within the barracks.
Well, it was said that this lady went to school,
Okay.
got back, dropped her bag, and went out to chill. So basically, they don't even know if she's missing within the barrack or outside the barrack, but they are making serious effort in finding her, according to reports.
We hope the efforts are very serious, because it will be like, if the people within the barracks are being attacked, what's the hope for others outside? All right, the next story we will consider will be Osinachi, Pastor Enenche's daughter, reacts and states her father's position. You know, interestingly, in the last 1 week, or last couple of days actually, the issue has been domestic violence because of the popular singer that died, and the accusation that allegedly her husband was responsible. And a lot of people have come out to say probably the pastor, because she was a lead singer in a Dunamis Gospel Church. Probably the pastor did not speak out, or some pastors would tell them to carry their cross, is their cross. So people have been expecting that Dunamis will release a statement. So interestingly, the daughter is a lawyer, that's Debbie Enenche. So, and the daughter released a statement, like an official statement on her Facebook handle, and where she was like, people should not be saying what they don't know, sounding like the church or the family never knew the extent to which the lady was suffering from domestic violence. And then at the end of the day, she has pledged that they're going to do everything that is possible to ensure that her family gets justice. Interesting times.
Well, I think no pastor will know about someone suffering from domestic violence and still support it. So basically, I'm sure he wouldn't have supported her staying in the marriage when knowing fully well that she's suffering in the marriage.
That's that. We just hope that she gets justice, because that's the most important thing, because we're in interesting times.
We hope so too. Femi Otedola reacts to daughter's engagement to Mr. Easy.
Billionaire is a billionaire son-in-law, something like that.
Yeah, he's the billionaire son-in-law. To even think that with his dreadlock, you know how these people will be very keen on the appearance of their children. I'm so happy for him anyway.
Okay. I saw it somewhere. It's like someone said he should just change his name to Otedola. So
his name is already changing, definitely.
In this case, is it the guy?
Otedola.
Is it the guy that is supposed to change his name? I don't understand.
I mean, you'll be very happy to carry on with the name.
Is that the power of money?
Easy Otedola.
Is he the one marrying her, or is she the one marrying him?
They are marrying themselves, so it's the same thing.
I hope he doesn't get choked, so that everything he does is like we're the ones controlling you. All right, up next is the one that said Oshibanjo's declaration that is an like a RCCization of the politics. What they're trying to, I think, Murik, that's the Muslim Religious Council of Nigeria. They're trying to say that because the vice president has declared for president, it's like they're trying to extend the Redeemed Christian Church of God into politics. So, and interestingly, today on our guest segment, we're going to be looking at the faith and politics. Do they have a linkage? Are they interlinked? So our listeners, you need to sit back for that segment, as we have someone, a very eminent personality in the society, who is going to be talking about that. Does faith has a place in politics, or they are really necessary one to the other?
Oh, it's going to be an interesting
promises
one.
to be an interesting discussion.
The
last story.
I can't find it.
Which of them?
One shot dead in suspected coal fight in Lorin, Kwara State. CP reacts. So the stuff with the cult group among young people, they happen to be in like a cult fight, and you know how they react, and then they ended up killing one person at the road. So the CP happened to get one of them while the rest flew away. So he was talking and warning parents to train their children properly to abstain from cult and things like that.
You know, recently there has been a rise in cult activities and all manner of gangs. And truth be told, most of these things are caused by poor economy. When most of these young men are not active, you wake up in the morning and then you don't have anything to do. I remember the story whereby there was a young guy who belonged to a cult, and his father was a security man. The father came back from night duty to meet him sleeping, And then when he tried to wake him up, why is he sleeping around 10 a.m.? The boy stabbed him to death recently in this country. So
he stabbed his
father to death. So you can now imagine how we've come as a country. So the government needs to do a lot to curb this high rate of unemployment, because if he was in the factory, for example, working, will he be at home at that time and having the time and space to commit such a crime? So, okay, finally, the topic will take FG and ASU strike. It said that FG and ASU are going to meet before the Easter. So, interestingly, this strike started on February 14th, Valentine's Day. That's when ASU officially started the strike. And this is 8 weeks right now. The strike is into its 8th week. And then you find them playing politics with this whole thing. Someone said that the so-called money they said they are pumping into all this their social investment program, why not just fix ASU, for example, just give it to ASU and fix the educational system? While you're giving a lot of people money, you say it's Empower or other things. We're not saying it's not good, but you have to do the primary before you do the secondary. So those who are in school, you've not finished with them, and you say you're giving some, because you find out that some of those platforms, a lot of the people involved already has jobs. And there's a lot of other people who get into that, and then the people that brought them in, they settle them. So that the people that are doing those programs, they may say, okay, put your names, 1,000 names, each of you will be giving me 50%. And you'll be collecting 50%. So whether they show up or not, they get paid. Because,
and it's quite frustrating though, because when you get admission hoping to spend just 4 years in the university, and at the end of the day you end up spending 6 years.
You'll be lucky if you do 6. You'll be lucky in a public university in Nigeria. That's how bad it is. So people get frustrated, and then at the end of the day, some people even die while in school.
I think that's why we have a lot of school dropout as well.
Obviously, because you ask yourself that even after all this stress that I get myself into, and when I come out, are the jobs even there?
No job.
And so that's the question. All right, our viewers, this is where we'll call it a wrap on the headline segment of the program. Up next will be our interview segment. You won't want to miss that. Interview segment of your program, The Late Morning Show. And interestingly, today we have a very distinguished personality in our midst. He is a Nigerian diplomat, Ambassador Martin Uhomoibi. He is best known as the former president of the United Nations Human Rights Council, and he served as president between 2008 to 2009. He also served as the permanent secretary of Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In October 2015, he was appointed as the Joint Special Representative for Darfur and head of the African Union Nations Hybrid Operations in Darfur, popularly known as UNAMID. Welcome, sir, to the program.
Thank you very much.
And you are also a lecturer with Veritas University, Abuja. So I'm sure we're going to have a very nice discussion. And interestingly, viewers, we're talking about faith and politics. So, and this is somebody who has been in the diplomatic space, has interacted with politicians, both in Nigeria and outside of Nigeria. And then he's also a faith person. So, interestingly, we want to see how you can marry up the topic and give us perspectives. Welcome once again to the program, sir.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's nice to have you.
Thank you.
So we go straight into asking you, what is the place of faith in politics?
Very interesting, I must say, particularly for a Nigerian at this time. But to speak pejoratively, I happen to be a historian. So I may go into history to explain this. Faith and politics are two crucial values, and actually they're very important in life. Human beings generally, we are political animals. So there's no human being on earth who can shun politics, who is not a politician, who is not a political animal. One of the qualities of humanity, of a human being, is that he is a political animal. Because you live in a society that is politically controlled. So politics is not separable from human nature. Now, faith. What are you without faith? We are all believers in one thing or another.
Even the people that don't believe in God.
So even those who do not believe in God, they have a belief.
Sure.
And that is faith. Ungodliness is their faith. But only fools say to themselves, there is no God. So we believe also that they must be stupid not to believe that there is a creator whom we all regard as God. Now, your question is, what is the link between faith and politics? I say both of them are intertwined. If you have faith and you say you are not interested in politics, something is seriously missing in your psychology. And if you say you are a politician and you don't need God and you don't have faith, then you have a crisis. One of the challenges that we face at this time in our country is that a majority of us think that we can shun politics. And therefore, let me just practice my faith and be completely apolitical. I'm afraid that is being challenged every day of our lives. For you to have a space to even practice your faith, you have to make sure that that space is politically convenient and accommodative and tolerant of your belief and your faith. So I think if you are a politician and you think you don't need God, you don't need faith, then something is seriously wrong with you because you will not get anywhere. So I think we must learn this new trait and this new philosophy. And that since faith without action is dead, I will also want to add to this as a takeaway from here that politics without faith is a contradiction and is as good as dead. Why are we on earth? We are on earth here to be instruments, to be used by God to continue his work of procreation. That's what we are. We're instruments. So even politicians are instruments. If they think that they are there just to feed their pocket and to feed themselves, that's why perhaps we have the crisis that we have in our country at this time. So, because in the end, you came with nothing and you are living with nothing. What matters, what will matter ultimately, is the kind of way that you have invested the talents that you are given to allow God to do his work of creation and of that he wants to do. So whether you are in politics or you are not in politics, you must recognize these essential values, that faith is critical to politics, and politics is critical to the advancement, projection, promotion, and defense of faith.
Okay, great.
So, Sir, you were talking about faith being like a tool to politics. So I want to ask if, like, religion actually have a role to play in politics. Does religion have a role to play in politics?
They are not separable. You need religion to advance politics, and you need politics to advance religion. So in my view, both are interlinked and interrelated, as life is generally. So they are not really separable. But it is possible to play politics in a way that is adversarial to faith. And that's what happens most of the time. When you now want to play God, I think that God is not capable of doing the work that he has to do except through your politicization of religion. That's when you have a crisis. And there are many religious wars that have been fought in history. And I don't think that if you really understand what faith is, you need to fight. You cannot fight for God through violence in particular. But you can fight for God by standing up for truth and ensuring that everyone is able to practice his religion totally uninhibited or totally, you can advance your religion without having to fight for it. So the Crusades, there was the Crusades in the history of the church, which was political and which Rome has since made a statement on that it was wrong and apologized for it. So those who fight for, who think that they have to use violence to win souls for God, I think they are wrong. And all religious wars in history are condemnable, be whatever that religion may be.
Okay, interestingly, so looking at the context of the Nigerian system, whereby you see, we talk about Christian Muslim ticket or the Muslim ticket, should one's faith be considered when electing them into office? Should we consider people's faith as a country? Are we there or are we not yet there as a country, looking at our journey in democracy?
We should look at the humanness, the humanity of the individual. And any human being, correct human being, must recognize freedom of religion and freedom of the human person to practice the faith he or she wants to practice. In a country as complex, complicated and diverse as Nigeria, of course it is important that all of us have a sense of belonging, that we are represented in the person holding that office. And that's why in our constitution there's freedom of religion. And there is even such minute freedoms as the federal character principle and the zoning system. And all of that it's intended to project equity, justice, and fair play. And we are all subscribers to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was crafted and became part of the United Nations in 1948 when that Universal Declaration was promulgated. And an important article in that Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that human beings, wherever they are have a fundamental right, freedom from discrimination based on religion, on gender, on race, on creed, or whatever. You are free to practice whatever religion you want to practice. You are free to be, you cannot be discriminated against on the basis of your religion, on the basis of your race, on the basis of your tribe, on the basis of your ethnic origin, or on the basis of your gender. So those are human rights which Nigeria is part of, subscribes to the Charter. And so I would say that in that sense, it really does not matter what religion you profess. But in a country as complex as Nigeria, as diverse as we are, it is in the interest of equity and justice that everyone should be treated, and we must be sensitive to ensuring that there is equity and justice in the distribution of offices and in the representation that we have, which represents our government.
Okay, so it's not about the person's religion, but about their humanness.
Their humanity, their sense of humanity.
And their disposition
towards others. Yes. But I must say that there also must be equity and justice. So you cannot, in a country as diverse as ours, you cannot fill up the place with people who belong to only one sect. That is injustice.
All right.
Because they don't hold the monopoly of excellence.
So in a country like Nigeria, where we have different leaders come up to fill the political position, and then they give us different manifestos, but when they get on seats, they fail to deliver. So I want to ask, does politics corrupt one's faith or belief?
Does
politics corrupt one's faith or belief?
If you let it, yes. It's you. You are the determinant of how you play your politics. You can play politics in a very nasty way, but you can also play politics in a good way. Okay. The responsibility is yours. And the people whom you govern have the weapon to take you out through their vote. And that's why democracy is espoused as the most credible form of securing your leadership. And that's why you must have your PVC, and that's why you must vote. Because if somebody is there and what he acts on the field is different from what he says he will do, you have a responsibility to vote him out of office. That's true. In a free, fair, and democratic sense. So politicians are human. And there is a definition of politics which talks about politics is the art of the possible. It is what is possible that politicians do. They don't do what is impossible.
That's true.
So in addition to this question, many people believe that to effectively play politics, you can't be sincere, you can't be straight, you must be crooked. So
that is terrible. Okay. That's a very nasty way of describing politics. Okay. Politics is a responsible game and which must be played responsibly. But who determines responsibility? It is you, the citizen, who determines, and that you can do that with your vote. And that's why you have your vote. If there is a politician who is lying to you, and you allow him to buy you up by giving you 5,000 naira to get his vote, who do you blame? You don't blame the politician, you blame yourself. You have marketed you've sold out your freedom for 5,000 naira. Is that a rational choice to take? No. So the fault is not in our stars, it's in ourselves that we are underlings. If you allow yourself to buy into, to be sold for 5,000 naira or a bag of rice, don't blame the politician, blame yourself.
All right, so this brings me to, as we wrap up this discussion, when one's faith is in conflict with his politics, you find yourself in a place whereby the choices between you is either you choose politics or your faith. What will your advice be? Because we'll found people who have said, I had to take this decision because it was contrary to my faith or contrary to my beliefs. These are politicians. So in that kind of scenario, which should one go with when your faith conflicts with your politics?
I think faith is superior to reason. Okay. And faith is superior to anything else in this world. Because in the end, you are nothing. This world is, you came with nothing and you live with nothing. Sure. For a Christian, and for a Roman Catholic for that matter, your faith must take precedence over anything else that you do. One of the things that pained Christ when Christ was living on the earth, he said, when I come back, will I find faith among my people? Even the size of a mustard seed. Faith is critical, and there is nothing that faith cannot do for you. There's nothing God cannot do for you if it is good. Your faith must teach you that God has ultimate authority over you, and that he will never surrender you to any small god, whoever that small god thinks he or she is. But when I come back, will I find faith among my people? If you have faith, you can tell this mountain, move. Not just metaphorically, but actually, really move, and it will move. But where is your faith? What can you be without your faith? So I don't accept any politician saying that, well, I had to take this decision. No. Where is your faith? Christ came on earth, and he said, give unto Caesar what is Caesar, and to God what is God. But that does not mean that he would refuse the ugly passage, the journey that he had to take, particularly in this Holy Week, to go to the Calvary and be crowned with thorns and die. He was God. Even his deathbed was not his own. He was stripped for our sake because as Son of God, he was sold for 30 pieces of silver by his cousin, Judas Iscariot. So the point I am making is that where is your faith as a Christian? And faith is number one. And faith is superior to reason. Because reason is human. But faith is divine. It's the belief in things that your eyes cannot see. Where is your faith? I believe that if a Christian politician pleads that it is because of politics, that he has done what is wrong, contrary to faith, he's just entertaining himself. That's not acceptable.
So how about the people that come up with the loyalty card? I was just trying to be loyal to my party. I was just trying to be loyal to my
I believe that is strictly an alibi.
Okay.
Means really the person didn't have faith in the first place.
It's not a strong reason for
Truth is not mortgageable.
Okay.
Truth is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And your faith is your last resort. And it's what will be asked of you by who created you when you see him on the last day. What did you do? Did you love? So, but when human beings are human beings, and politicians are politicians. But you can't play politics with God. Yes is yes. No is no.
Okay, thank you very much. So what will be your final words, especially to Nigerians as we go into, we're already in an election cycle. So what will be your final words as somebody who you've had varied experiences, and then at this point I'm sure you're in a position to give very valuable advice, both to young people, middle-aged, and even the elderly. What should we
do? As a Christian, as a Catholic, get your PVC and let your faith guide you. And don't be apolitical, because faith and politics are not enemies. Wow. It's when you play politics with faith, that's when there's crisis. But faith and religion are reconcilable. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sure our viewers, you will have heard from his closing words. It's only when you play politics with faith, that's when you have a crisis. But they are intertwined, and you must apply wisdom. So thank you so much for coming on the program, sir. We're privileged to have you, and we're sure when we invite you next time, we hope you oblige us.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Up next is our entertainment segment.
Hello, welcome to the entertainment segment. It is no news that Will Smith has did some deed in this year's Oscars award, and we heard that he gave a comedian Rock a dirty slap, which has led him to 10 years banned in the Academy. And again, it's so exciting to give you news that Mr. Ibu is finally out of the hospital after he was poisoned by Anonymous. So he's excited to celebrate with everyone that he's finally out of the hospital and he's doing better now. Funke Akindele and her husband, JJC, have been having some misunderstanding, and unfortunately it has been on the internet concerning some funding. Now her stepson has come on the social media to talk about her not treating him well after staying with her for 2 years, which made him leave her home. The husband came online to say that the news is a lie and we should disregard it. What do you think about that? This is super exciting. Up next is Sport Update with Chidi.
Welcome to sports segment on the late morning show. I remain Chidebere Thompson. Over 3,145 athletes and officials have stormed the Abuja National Stadium for the Para Sports Festival that is ongoing, while declaring the games opened, the sports minister, Sunday Dare, said the festival is aimed at giving people living with disability a sense of belonging in sport and the opportunity to exhibit their potential. The Honorable Minister was quoted as saying, "We want to give the athletes a sense of belonging. At the end of the games, we will see athletes who will represent Nigeria on the international stage at the forthcoming Commonwealth Games." The athletes from 32 participating states are vying for honors in different sports, such as powerlifting, para-athletics, para-table tennis, deaf sports, para-soccer, and other sports included are wheelchair tennis, para-badminton, para-canoe, sitting volleyball, wheelchair basketball, amputee football, para-swimming, para-taekwondo, and para-shooting. So far, in the ongoing Parasports Festival holding at Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Kano State has taken the lead at the first edition with 1 gold, 1 silver, and 1 bronze medals, while Oyo and FCT are in the 3rd and 2nd positions respectively. As at day 2, a total of 9 medals have been won, which includes 3 golds, 3 silvers, and 3 bronze medals. Other states such as Jigawa, Kebbi, Yobe, Bauchi, Gombe, Edo, and Oshun are yet to win a medal. Other states participating include Akwa Ibom, Ondo, Plateau, Enugu, Nasarawa, Abia, Bayelsa, and Kaduna states. Going by the medals table, only 21 states, including FCT, are participating in this festival. Now we move over to the basketball. The president of the Nigerian Basketball Federation, Igoshe Mark, has said that for basketball to reach desired heights in Nigeria, Nigerians should invest and support the game. Mark, who said building the game from the grassroots is his main priority, also observed that the country has the talents to challenge the best teams in the world. Over to football. The president of Nigeria Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, has said that he has no intentions to run for the 3rd tenure, a decision which was influenced by his family, though he said he's still qualified to run for the 3rd time. On the Nigerian Professional Football League, Kwara State United shared spoils with Plateau United in Ilorin as Gombe United beat Temman Nasarawa United 3-1. Title contenders, as at the time of filing this report, were denied the opportunity to climb to the top of the table, at least momentarily, by Kwara United, who held them to a 1-1 draw in the match day 22 fixture, played at the Ilore Township Stadium. Before the match in Ilore, Plateau United were on 44 points, 2 points behind toppers, Rivers United. The week 22 results are as follows. Lobby Stars against Kano Pillars ended in a goalless stalemate. Enyimba beat Enugu Rangers 2-1. Sunshine Stars beat Abia Warriors 1-0. While Niger Tornadoes beat Wiki Tourist 1-0. While Mountain of Fire beat Dakada 2-0. Akwa United beat Shooting Stars 2-1. And Kwara United played a 1-1 draw with Plateau United. On the tables, we have Rivers United topping the table with 46 points after 21 matches played. Plateau United following closely behind with 45 points after 22 matches played. Enugu Rangers is third on the table with 37 points from 22 games played, and Remo Stars following with 35 points from 21 games played. At the relegation zone, we have the Mountain of Fire with 23 points from 22 games, Castena United with 21 points from 20 games, and Heartland FC with 20 points from 21 games. Nigerians are still battling with the reality of missing out at the World Cup after the Super Eagles lost to the Black Stars of Ghana in an encounter that has been described by many Nigerians as lackadaisical on the part of the technical crew and most of the players. Four-time World Cup winners Germany were the first team to guarantee a spot through the qualification process in Europe, while Brazil, which is regarded as the most successful national team in World Cup history with 5 trophies, secured qualification as one of the top 4 teams in South America's group. Mexico and United States also qualified for the World Cup in their final quarter, and Senegal, Ghana, Tunisia, Morocco, and Cameroon were among the final countries to book their places at the Qatar 2022 World Cup. The fixtures for the World Cup are Group A. We have Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands, while in Group B, we have England, Iran, USA, and a playoff coming up, an Euro playoff coming up in June. The winner of that match has to join the Group B. In Group C, we have Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland, while in Group D, we have France and an intercontinental playoff also coming up in June, joining that group. We also have Denmark and Tunisia also in that group. And in Group E, we have Spain with an intercontinental playoff coming up also in June to join that group. The winner of that game joins that group with Germany and Japan. In Group F, we have Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia, while in Group G, we have Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. Group H has Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea Republic. Meanwhile, in Premier League, we have Man City topping the table with 74 points, Liverpool following behind with 73 points, Chelsea with 62 points, and Tottenham with 57 points. And at the relegation zone, we have Burnley with 24 points, Watford with 22 points, and Norwich City with 21 points. Thank you for being part of the show. I remain Chidebere Thompson. See you next time.
Thank you, Mr. Chidebere, for the sport update. We've come to the end of the show. I hope you enjoyed every bit of it. I still remain a young patient Iman. Thanks for being part of the show.
And I remain Victor Matthias. Remember, you can give us your feedback on the program. You can send us an SMS or WhatsApp on the number 0806 004 2843 and the social media handles displayed on your screen. Till we come your way, same time, same station. Do have yourself a great day.